Have you ever felt the storm raging inside you, a tempest of thoughts and fears that refuses to quiet? A whirlwind that pulls at every corner of your mind until nothing seems steady. Imagine standing on a cliff, the wind whipping at your face, waves crashing violently below. Yet feeling a sudden stillness, a calm so profound that even the storm outside seems to bow to it. Monks have a way of finding this silence, not by running from chaos, not by denying the turbulence, but by uttering a single sentence, a phrase so deceptively simple that it carries the weight of centuries. This sentence is their anchor, their refuge, the quiet eye within the hurricane. And tonight, I want to share it with you, not as a mere collection of words, but as a key that can unlock your inner sanctuary even when life screams for attention. But beware, this is not a trick, and it is not a magic wand. It is a truth that demands your willingness to listen, to pause, to surrender to its rhythm. So lean in, breathe, and let this sentence, and the journey behind it, guide you. The sentence itself is brief. This too is passing. At first, you might hear it and think, is that all? Yes, that is all. And yet, in its simplicity lies a universe. Picture the clouds above a mountain. One moment they shroud the peaks in shadow, obscuring everything in a gray haze. The next, a gentle gust parts them, and the sun spills golden light across the cliffs. The clouds do not resist. They do not fight, and neither should we. Every thought, every fear, every joy, every heartbreak is transient. It moves like water, like wind, like the flicker of a candle flame in the vast darkness. This too is passing. Let that sink in. Let your mind trace the contours of those words. There is no rush here. The storm will not listen to you, but you can listen to it. You can recognize it as a visitor, not as a permanent resident. Consider the last time anxiety gripped you, when the weight of the future seemed unbearable, and the past clung to you like a shadow. How often did you try to wrestle it into submission, to argue with it, to will it away? The monks teach a different path, one that does not resist. That does not fight. Imagine a river swollen with rain, rushing and angry, threatening to tear down everything. You can jump in and struggle, but the current will overwhelm you. Or you can step to the riverbank, feel its force, acknowledge its presence, and wait for the flood to subside. This too is passing. It is not denial, it is recognition. It is the quiet understanding that time is fluid, and everything you hold on to as permanent is only momentary. Now let's dive deeper, because this sentence is not a hollow mantra. It is a lens, a philosophy, a guide. Every emotion you experience carries the same impermanence. Joy blooms like a rare flower in spring, vibrant but fleeting. Pain strikes like lightning, sudden and scorching, yet even lightning fades. When you repeat this sentence slowly, deliberately, you are not numbing yourself. You are awakening. You are seeing the architecture of life in its purest form, the ebb and flow that defines existence. The monks do not offer it as a charm to escape reality. They offer it as a torch to illuminate the path through it. Imagine a battlefield, swords clashing, shields splintering, chaos all around. You are in the center, heart racing, unsure if you will survive the next moment. And then a voice whispers, soft but resolute, "This too is passing." Suddenly, the noise does not change. The danger does not vanish. But you notice a crack in the illusion of eternal suffering. You see that the moment is temporary, and in that recognition, a small seed of peace takes root. It is not instant serenity, but it is the first step toward it. The monks call this the practice of mindful detachment. It is the art of observing without being consumed, of watching the storm without being swept away. Let's turn inward for a moment. Think about the mind as a crowded marketplace. Voices shout from every corner, doubts, regrets, fears, desires, expectations. You chase one thought, it flees. Another arrives, more urgent, more insistent. The monk's sentence acts like a bell ringing through the market, a sound that cuts through the clamor, reminding you that no single voice has authority over your inner life. This too is passing. Each voice, no matter how loud or terrifying, is just a visitor. And you are the silent observer, the eternal witness to their coming and going. The power of this sentence is not in denying the market, but in shifting your identity. You are not the chaos, you are not the storm, you are the calm that watches it unfold. Now you may wonder, what about the moments that feel endless, the nights of despair, the pain that seems unyielding? This is where the sentence transforms from mere words into a practice. Repeating it is not enough. Understanding it is crucial. Think of your life as a river carving through a canyon over eons. The rock resists, the water presses on. The canyon is shaped not in an instant, but through persistent, gentle pressure. Every moment of suffering, every heartbeat of anxiety contributes to the formation of your inner landscape. When you whisper, "This too is passing," you are acknowledging the transient nature of your circumstances, while allowing time itself to reshape your perspective. You are patient like the river, like the wind, like the sculptor who knows that masterpieces cannot be rushed. Here's a twist you might not expect. Most people hear "this too is passing" and assume it is only about enduring difficulty. But the monks teach that it applies to joy as well. The elation, the ecstasy, the moments of triumph, they too are fleeting. And this is not meant to diminish them. It is meant to deepen them. Imagine holding a handful of sand. If you squeeze too tightly, it slips through your fingers. If you open your hand, letting it rest lightly, you notice each grain, the texture, the warmth, the glimmer of sunlight. Life is like that sand. Happiness, success, love, every peak you climb is transient. Acknowledging their impermanence does not make them smaller. It makes them more vivid, more precious. Because you understand that they are gifts, arriving briefly and leaving eventually. In practical terms, how can you integrate this into your daily life? Start with your mornings. Before the chaos begins, before the notifications demand your attention, before the weight of expectations presses down, and whisper to yourself, "This too is passing." Let the words sink into the fibers of your being. Then, as you navigate your day, the meetings, the challenges, the fleeting victories, return to this anchor. Whenever the waves of emotion threaten to engulf you, let it remind you that you are not your circumstances, that every sensation, thought, and fear is temporary. This is the art of living with awareness, of cultivating a mind that can meet the storm without being torn apart by it. And there is another layer. This sentence teaches perspective. The kind that shifts how you see the world. When someone wrongs you, when betrayal cuts deep, when disappointment sinks its teeth into your spirit, the natural impulse is to react, to hold on, to nurse the wound. Instead, repeat the monk's sentence. Watch the anger as it rises, then watch it dissolve, like morning mist under the sun. By recognizing the impermanence of every event, you begin to see life not as prisons, but as lessons, as currents in a river, guiding you toward understanding, empathy, and wisdom. The storm outside remains, but the storm inside no longer controls you. Consider love the most profound of human experiences. It brings joy and heartbreak in equal measure. When it blooms, the world seems radiant. When it fades, the world can seem gray. The monks remind us, this too is passing. Love's impermanence does not diminish its beauty. On the contrary, it magnifies it. Each shared laugh, each touch, each glance becomes more sacred because it is fleeting. Awareness of transience brings intensity to the present moment. It invites you to savor, to be fully alive, to embrace the now without clinging or fear. Let's turn to a metaphor that might resonate deeply. Picture a vast forest, untouched and ancient. A storm arrives and the wind bends the trees, strips leaves from branches, scatters the forest floor with debris. If you were a squirrel, you might panic, darting from branch to branch, fearing each gust. But if you were the forest itself, you would notice the storm's fury, its temporary power, and remain grounded, knowing that the sun will return, the leaves will regrow, the forest endures. The monks invite you to be the forest, not the squirrel, to embody patience, resilience, and perspective, and to let their sentence guide you in cultivating this inner strength. And yes, there is fear in this practice. To say "this too is passing" requires surrender. It demands humility. We like to believe we can control everything, that our happiness, our suffering, our destiny is fixed. But life is not a puzzle to solve. It is a river to navigate. The monks offer a paddle, not a map. The single sentence becomes your paddle, steadying you in the rapids, reminding you that the river will flow, whether you resist or not. You might ask, does this mean I should do nothing? Far from it. Recognition of impermanence does not lead to apathy. It leads to clarity. When you know that challenges are temporary, you can act with courage. When you know that joy is temporary, you can savor it without greed. When you understand that nothing is fixed, every moment becomes precious. The sentence teaches presence, discernment, and intentionality. It is a compass pointing to what truly matters: awareness, compassion, and the cultivation of inner calm. And there is a paradox here. The more you repeat it, the more you realize that while everything is passing, you are not entirely swept along. You are the observer, the witness, the awareness in which all things arise and fade. The storm is temporary, yet your capacity to witness it is enduring. This realization brings freedom. Freedom is not in controlling life. Freedom is in embracing life as it is, flowing like a river, bending like the bamboo, soaring like the eagle above the storm. Now, imagine this sentence in action. You have lost something dear and grief threatens to consume you. Instead of resisting, you whisper, "This too is passing." The grief does not vanish, but it begins to transform. You feel it fully, yet it no longer owns you. You find moments of light, moments of connection, moments of stillness. The storm remains, yet the eye is within you, calm and unshaken. And when joy arrives, when laughter returns, when love rekindles, you greet it with the same sentence, not to diminish it, but to hold it gently, to honor its impermanence, to be fully awake to the miracle of the present. And here lies the final twist. Most people see calm as a destination, a place free from trouble. The monks teach that calm is not a place, it is a perspective. It is not found in the absence of storms, but in the recognition that all storms inside and outside are temporary. By adopting this perspective, you carry the monastery within you, wherever you go. Your home becomes wherever your awareness resides. Your peace is no longer dependent on circumstances. And in this, the sentence, "This too is passing," becomes more than words. It becomes a living practice, a constant companion, a key to navigate the ever-changing landscape of existence. So, whenever life feels overwhelming, whenever thoughts race like wild horses across the plains of your mind, pause, close your eyes, and breathe. Whisper, "This too is passing." Let the words sink into your body, your bones, your spirit. Let them remind you that every fear, every doubt, every wave of elation, every shadow of sorrow is transient. Let them guide you to the quiet center where the storm cannot reach, where the river flows steadily, where the forest stands tall, and where the eternal witness within you smiles at the dance of impermanence. This sentence is not just a tool. It is an invitation to awaken, to live fully, to embrace life with courage and serenity. And now, I challenge you to try it. The next time anxiety tightens its grip, the next time joy swells too quickly, the next time the world seems unsteady, repeat it. This too is passing. Watch, breathe, and feel the subtle shift. Notice how perspective emerges, how the grip of emotion loosens, how clarity blooms. Share your experience in the comments. How did this simple sentence change the way you faced your storm? If this message resonates, if it sparks even a flicker of inner calm, like this video, subscribe to Echoes of Greatness, and join a community that explores the depths of thought, philosophy, and human potential together. And remember, the storm outside and within is temporary, but your capacity to witness it, to navigate it, to embrace it is enduring. This too is passing. Let it pass through you, let it guide you, let it awaken you,